Happy Halloween again, everyone. Hope you've had a good Halloween evening. Had some kids out, whatnot. We had a group of what looked to be about 15 adults and kids that came by. Our doorbell doesn't work, so we just barely caught them. But yeah, I hope everyone's had a good Halloween. And we're getting ready to go back into the Halloween themed Dungeons and Dragons game that is being run by ChatGPT. I'll have ChatGPT read back the last session just to update you if you haven't seen the first one yet. Then here we go.
Great. During this session, Simon has made significant progress in the story. Here's a quick recap of where he stands. 1. Encounter with Wraiths. Simon successfully fought and defeated multiple Wraiths, utilizing the Wraith's lantern and his scimitars effectively. 2. Acquisition of key items. He found several valuable items, including the Wraith's lantern, a silver pendant, an ornate dagger, a scroll of protection, and a fragment of an old map. 3. Insight from the pool. The magical pool provided Simon with guidance on using the Wraith's lantern effectively to lift the curse affecting the village. 4. Exploration of the chamber. Simon explored a new chamber, discovering ancient statues and an altar that reaffirmed the protective magic tied to his quest. 5. Preparation for future challenges. With the decision to take a short rest, Simon is poised to regain strength and prepare for whatever lies ahead, including potential encounters with dark forces. You're in a strong position with plenty of information and resources to continue your journey. Whenever you're ready to pick up the story again, just let me know. Enjoy your break.
Okay, let's begin ChatGPT Halloween 24 episode 2. Please set the scene and get us going.
ChatGPT Halloween 24 Episode 2. As Simon settles in for a short rest, the soothing sounds of the bubbling spring and the gentle glow of the Wraith's lantern create a tranquil atmosphere in the ancient chamber. The faint light from the luminous fungi casts soft shadows across the stone walls, providing a sense of safety as he allows himself a moment to breathe and recover. After a brief respite, Simon feels his strength returning. The weight of his journey lingers in his mind, filled with thoughts of the village's curse and the dark forces that may yet lie in wait. With the silver pendant glowing faintly against his chest and the ornate dagger securely at his side, he is reminded of the responsibilities he carries. As he prepares to rise from his resting place, a subtle tremor in the ground catches his attention. The vibrations grow slightly stronger, accompanied by a distant echo, like the sound of something shifting in the depths beyond the chamber. The flickering light of the torch seems to flicker in response, casting elongated shadows across the room. Simon knows that whatever awaits him could either be a chance for discovery or a new challenge to face. What does Simon do next?
What are some options from
From this point, Simon has several options to consider. 1. Investigate the disturbance. He could approach the source of the tremor and echo, seeking to uncover what is causing the disturbance. This could lead to new discoveries or encounters. 2. Examine the statues again. After resting, he might want to take another look at the statues now that he's refreshed to see if there are any additional details or magical properties that he might have missed. Number 3, proceed through the other passage. He could choose to leave the chamber through the passageway he discovered earlier, venturing into the unknown and potentially uncovering new areas of interest. 4. Utilize the Wraith's Lantern. He could take a moment to prepare the Wraith's Lantern, ensuring it's ready for any potential encounters with spirits or dark forces. 5. Plan a strategy. If he wants to be cautious, Simon could take a moment to strategize his next moves, assessing his inventory and preparing for whatever lies ahead. 6. Consult the map. If he hasn't already, he could take a moment to look over the fragment of the map he found earlier, checking for any marked locations that could guide his next steps. What will Simon choose to do?
Simon will examine the statues again now that he's rested.
As Simon rises from his resting place, he approaches the statues once more, feeling invigorated and ready to uncover any additional secrets they may hold. The soft glow of the Wraith's lantern illuminates the intricate details of each figure, and he takes his time to inspect them thoroughly. Please roll an investigation check to see what new insights or details Simon can gather from the statues now that he is refreshed.
Simon rolled a 16.
With a roll of 16, Simon carefully examines the statues, and his fresh perspective allows him to notice several significant details. 1. Deeper inscriptions. He finds more inscriptions at the bases of some statues that tell stories of past guardians. These inscriptions recount legends of how the guardians defended the village against dark forces and the importance of light in their battles. 2. Runes activation. As he shines the Wraith's lantern on one statue, he notices that the runes at its base begin to glow in response, suggesting a connection between the lantern and the protective magic of the statues. This might imply that the lantern can be used to empower the statues or activate some hidden abilities. 3. Hidden compartment. In one statue, Simon spots a small, almost concealed compartment at the back. It looks like it could be opened, perhaps revealing a hidden item or additional information. 4. Faded details. He also notices that some of the details on the statues are worn down more than others, indicating which figures may have been revered the most over time. Feeling a sense of discovery, Simon knows he has several options for what to do next. What does Simon do?
Simon will open the hidden compartment, not checking it for traps.
Simon carefully inspects the statue with the hidden compartment, feeling around for any mechanisms or latches. As he locates the small opening, he gently pulls it open. Inside the compartment, he finds a small scroll case made of intricately carved wood. The case is slightly worn but intact, suggesting it has been preserved through the ages. He removes the scroll case and opens it, revealing an aged parchment inside. As he unfolds the scroll, he can see it contains another spell, a spell of lesser restoration. This spell can cure a variety of ailments, such as blindness, deafness, paralysis, or poison, making it a valuable asset for Simon's journey. Additionally, the scroll is inscribed with notes indicating that it can be used to heal spirits who have been wronged or trapped, aligning perfectly with Simon's quest to lift the village's curse. What does Simon do next?
Blesser restoration. Scroll. I don't know why it's not letting me find one. Scroll blesser restoration. Okay. I think Simon will put the scroll in his pouch and then shine the light of the race lantern on the statue with the runes that were activated.
As Simon places the scroll into his pouch, he turns his attention back to the statue with the glowing runes. Holding the wraith's lantern aloft, he directs its radiant light onto the statue. The moment the light touches the runes, they shimmer brightly, and a warm energy begins to radiate from the statue. The air around Simon feels charged, and he hears the whispers of the spirits growing louder, as if acknowledging the activation of the magic. The statue's eyes glow with a soft light, and Simon notices a subtle shift in the atmosphere. The protective energy in the chamber intensifies. Suddenly, a gentle melodic voice echoes through the room. Guardian of the light, you have awakened us. With the Wraith's lantern and the spirits of this place, you hold the power to protect the village. Stand strong against the dark. As the voice fades, the statue emits a faint glow that seems to enhance the light of the lantern. Simon feels a surge of power coursing through him, suggesting that the statues are now more attuned to his presence and can provide additional support. What does Simon do next?
Simon looks around the room one last time for anything out of the ordinary. Then he will go through the passage.
Please roll a perception check to see if Simon can spot anything out of the ordinary in the room before he moves on through the passage. Let me know the result.
I rolled a 19.
With a roll of 19, Simon conducts a thorough examination of the chamber, his keen senses alert to any details that might stand out. He notices 1. Subtle shifts in light. The light from the Wraith's lantern casts unique shadows on the walls, revealing outlines that appear to depict scenes from the village's history, possibly highlighting significant battles or events. 2. A hidden glimmer. In one corner of the chamber, beneath the roots of a large fungi, he spots a small, glimmering object partially buried in dirt. It looks like it could be another trinket or a piece of jewelry, possibly of historical significance. 3. Faint magical aura. The air in the chamber carries a residual magical energy, particularly around the altar and statues. It feels as if the protective magic is stronger now, potentially offering Simon some enhanced capabilities while he remains in this area. 4. The echo of whispers. The gentle whispers in the room have transformed into a calming hum, as if the spirits are satisfied with the events that have unfolded. Feeling confident and aware of the magical ambiance surrounding him, Simon has the option to investigate the glimmering object further or proceed through the passage. What does Simon decide to do?
Simon wants to investigate the glimmering object.
Simon approaches the corner of the chamber where he spotted the glimmering object, carefully brushing aside the dirt and roots to uncover it. As he digs gently, the object reveals itself to be a small silver brooch, intricately designed in the shape of a crescent moon. As he picks it up, he notices that it feels cool to the touch, and there's a faint magical aura emanating from it. The brooch is adorned with delicate engravings that resemble the runes he's seen before on the altar and statues. Upon closer inspection, he sees that there is a tiny inscription on the back, which reads, "Light shall guide you home." The brooch appears to be a magical accessory, likely providing a bonus to his abilities related to light or protection against darkness. What does Simon do next?
I place brooch on my cape's lapel.
Simon carefully pins the silver brooch onto his cape's lapel, feeling its cool metal settle comfortably against his fabric. As he attaches it, he senses a subtle warmth emanating from the brooch, as if it acknowledges its new place as part of his attire. With the Wraith's lantern, the silver dagger, the protective pendant, the scroll of lesser restoration, and now the crescent moon brooch, Simon feels well equipped for the challenges ahead. Now ready to proceed, he stands in the chamber, the gentle hum of magic surrounding him, and the soft glow of the Wraith's lantern lighting his path. He can either move through the passageway he discovered earlier or revisit any part of the chamber before continuing his journey. What does Simon decide to do next?
One says, well, it's now or never, and moves stealthily through the passageway.
With determination, Simon steels himself and slips into the passageway, his movements quiet and deliberate as he makes his way forward. The light from the Wraith's lantern guides him, casting flickering shadows along the walls as he navigates the narrow corridor. Please roll a stealth check to see how quietly Simon can move through the passageway. Let me know the result.
Roll the 19. Yes, I rolled the 19.
With a roll of 19, Simon moves stealthily through the passageway, his footfalls barely making a sound. The flickering light from the Wraith's lantern dances along the walls, but he remains shrouded in shadows, unseen and unheard. As he progresses deeper into the tunnel, he begins to hear the distant sound of water flowing more clearly, along with a faint echo of voices. The passage twists and turns, and after a short distance, it opens up into a larger chamber. The new room is dimly lit, with the walls glistening from moisture. The air is cool and carries the scent of damp earth. In this chamber, Simon notices 1. A flowing stream. A clear stream runs through the center of the room, its gentle flow creating a serene atmosphere. 2. Ruined statues. Scattered throughout the chamber are fragments of broken statues, remnants of what once might have been guardians or protectors. 3. Mysterious glow. There's a faint, pulsating glow coming from one side of the chamber, drawing Simon's attention. Number 4. A wooden door. On the far side, a heavy wooden door stands slightly ajar, creaking softly as if inviting him to explore further. What does Simon do next?
Simon investigates the mysterious glow.
As Simon approaches the source of the mysterious glow, he moves cautiously, his curiosity piqued. The faint, pulsating light becomes more pronounced as he gets closer, illuminating the space around it. When he reaches the area, he discovers a small crystal embedded in the wall, surrounded by intricate carvings that resemble swirling patterns. The crystal radiates a soft blue light that pulses rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat. Upon closer inspection, Simon notices that the carvings depict scenes of spirits being guided to safety by beams of light, mirroring the themes he has encountered throughout his journey. The crystal seems to be a source of magical energy, possibly tied to the protective wards of the village or even the Wraith's lantern. It may offer an opportunity for Simon to harness some of its power or learn more about its significance. What does Simon do next?
Simon shines the light of Ray's lantern on the crystal.
As Simon holds the Wraith's lantern up to the crystal, the radiant light floods the area, and the blue glow of the crystal intensifies, pulsating in rhythm with the light from the lantern. The carvings around the crystal seem to come alive, their intricate patterns shimmering as if responding to the combined magical energies. The moment the light touches the crystal, a wave of warmth flows through the air, and the gentle whispers in the chamber swell into a harmonious melody. Simon feels a surge of power and clarity, as if the light is revealing the purpose of the crystal. Suddenly, the crystal emits a bright flash, and images dance before Simon's eyes. Visions of the village, the spirits, and a dark figure lurking in the shadows. He sees the Wraith's lantern illuminating the path, guiding lost souls to freedom, while the dark figure plots to reclaim the lantern for its own sinister purposes. The light from the crystal seems to connect deeply with Simon, and he senses that he can draw on its power. Options available: 1. Channel the power. Simon could attempt to channel the crystal's energy to enhance his abilities or empower the Wraith's lantern. 2. Gather information. He could take a moment to meditate on the visions and see if he can glean more information about the dark figure or the curse. 3. Leave the crystal. If he feels it's too risky, he could choose to leave the crystal and explore the wooden door on the far side of the chamber. What does Simon decide to do?
Let's see here. I think I want to channel the crystal's energy to channel crystal's energy to through the ray lantern.
As Simon focuses on channeling the crystal's energy through the Wraith's lantern, he feels a surge of magical power radiating from the crystal. He holds the lantern steady, allowing the light to intertwine with the vibrant glow of the crystal. With his intent clear, he begins to concentrate, feeling the energies flow between the two sources. The lantern flickers in response, and the air around him buzzes with charged magic. Suddenly, the light intensifies, and the surrounding chamber is bathed in a brilliant glow. The crystal resonates with the lantern, and Simon feels a rush of energy coursing through him. You gain the following benefits: 1. Enhanced Wraith's Lantern. The Wraith's Lantern now has increased potency. It can cast a more powerful guiding bolt spell once per day, as well as provide advantage on saving throws against fear effects when activated. 2. Temporary hit points. Simon gains 5 temporary hit points, reinforcing his vitality and bolstering his defenses. 3. Vision of Clarity. He receives a brief vision revealing the location of the dark figure, a shadowy figure in a nearby forest, plotting to regain control of the Wraith's lantern. As the energy settles, Simon stands invigorated, ready to confront the challenges ahead. What does Simon do next?
Huh. 5 temporary hit points. And I'm going to meditate on the visions. Going to meditate. On the vision, see what I see.
Simon closes his eyes and takes a deep breath, allowing himself to focus on the visions that flooded his mind when he channeled the crystal's energy. He lets the sensations of warmth and light envelop him, seeking clarity and deeper understanding. As he meditates, the images return, each one vivid and filled with detail. 1. The village. He sees the village, shrouded in mist, with spirits wandering aimlessly. The faces of the lost souls are etched with sorrow, yearning for release. 2. The dark figure. The shadowy figure emerges in his vision, cloaked in darkness, standing at the edge of the forest. It wears a menacing expression, plotting and scheming, surrounded by an aura of dread. 3. A pathway. He sees a pathway illuminated by the Wraith's lantern, leading directly to the dark figure. The path is fraught with dangers, but also lined with opportunities to reclaim lost souls. 4. Symbols of protection. Among the swirling images, he notices symbols of protection and strength, suggesting that by wielding the lantern and wearing the silver pendant, he will be empowered to confront the dark figure and protect the village. 5. A choice. Finally, he senses an important choice looming ahead. The vision hints at a pivotal moment where he can either confront the dark figure directly or gather more allies to strengthen his position. As Simon comes out of his meditation, he feels a renewed sense of purpose and clarity about his path forward. What does Simon decide to do next?
So I can get allies. That's interesting. Um, Simon, please through the window that's ajar.
Simon approaches the heavy wooden door, its aged surface creaking slightly as he pushes it open. The door swings inward, revealing a dimly lit corridor beyond. The air feels cooler as he steps through, and the faint sound of water echoes in the distance. The corridor is lined with rough stone walls, and the flickering light from the Wraith's lantern illuminates his path. As he moves forward, he notices 1. Faint footprints. The dust on the ground has been disturbed, leaving faint footprints that lead deeper into the corridor, suggesting recent passage, likely from the dark figure he glimpsed in his visions. 2. Tapestries. On the walls hang tattered tapestries depicting scenes of guardians protecting the village. Despite their worn condition, they tell stories of valor and sacrifice, reminding Simon of the importance of his mission. 3. A sense of urgency. The atmosphere feels charged with anticipation, as if the corridor is leading him toward a crucial encounter or revelation. After a short walk, the corridor opens up into another chamber, larger than the last. In the center stands an altar, similar to the one he encountered before, but this one is dark and foreboding, surrounded by shadows that seem to writhe and twist. What does Simon do next?
I turn up the brightness on the race lantern and shine it on the altar.
As Simon increases the brightness of the wraith's lantern, the radiant light fills the chamber, casting away the encroaching shadows that surround the altar. The light illuminates the space, revealing intricate carvings and dark symbols etched into the altar's surface. The moment the light touches the altar, it reacts, absorbing the energy and causing the dark symbols to flicker and glow momentarily. The atmosphere shifts and the shadows recede, revealing the altar's true nature. U1, dark symbols. The previously hidden symbols glow faintly in the light, and Simon realizes they represent warnings and curses, indicating that the altar is a focal point for dark magic. It appears to have been used for malevolent rituals. 2. A hidden compartment. With the shadows dispersed, Simon notices a small compartment at the base of the altar that wasn't visible before. It looks like it could be opened. 3. The moment the light brightens, the whispers in the chamber intensify, forming a chorus of voices. They seem to plead for release from the dark power that has taken root in this place. Feeling the weight of the situation, Simon has a choice to make. He can 1. Investigate the hidden compartment. Open the compartment to see what secrets or items it might hold. 2. Attempt to purify the altar. Use the Wraith's lantern to attempt to cleanse the dark magic surrounding the altar. 3. Leave the chamber. If he feels it's too risky, he could choose to leave and continue exploring elsewhere. What does Simon decide to do?
I think I'm going to purify the altar before looking at the hidden compartment. Simon will attempt to purify the altar and then investigate the hidden compartment.
Simon steadies himself, focusing the radiant light of the Wraith's lantern on the dark altar. He channels his intent to purify the malevolent energy surrounding it, invoking the protective magic of the lantern. As he holds the lantern steady, the light intensifies, casting away the shadows and illuminating the dark symbols on the altar. The air crackles with energy as he feels the pull of the magic, and he begins to sense the dark power responding to the light. Roll a charisma check to determine how effectively Simon can purify the altar. Let me know the result.
Charisma check, great. I only rolled 5.
With a roll of 5, Simon focuses on the wraith's lantern, but the dark energy surrounding the altar resists his attempts to purify it. The light shines brightly, but the malevolent symbols remain steadfast, their dark magic clinging to the altar. As he channels the energy, the altar seems to absorb some of the light, causing a faint flicker in the lantern's glow. The shadows momentarily waver, but quickly push back against the light, reinforcing the dark presence in the chamber. While Simon's efforts haven't succeeded in purifying the altar, he feels that he can try again later or approach the hidden compartment first to see if it offers something that might aid him in his efforts. With that in mind, Simon moves to investigate the hidden compartment at the base of the altar. He carefully examines it for any mechanisms or latches. Please roll an investigation check to see what he discovers.
Okay. You think I do good with the first 5? Rolled 15.
With a roll of 15, Simon inspects the hidden compartment at the base of the altar. He notices a small latch cleverly disguised among the dark carvings. After carefully disengaging it, the compartment swings open with a soft creak. Inside, he finds 1. A dark crystal, a small obsidian crystal that radiates a faint, ominous energy. It appears to be infused with dark magic and may be connected to the altar's malevolent power. 2. A ritual dagger, a ceremonial dagger with an ornate hilt and a blade that seems to absorb light rather than reflect it. This dagger looks like it might be used in dark rituals, hinting at its potential connection to the dark forces in the village. Number 3, a scroll of banishment, a scroll similar to the ones he has encountered before, containing a spell of banishment, which could be invaluable for dealing with spirits or dark entities. Each item carries its own weight and potential for Simon's journey ahead, but he can sense the danger associated with the dark crystal and the ritual dagger. What does Simon do next?
Dark crystal. Small obsidian dark crystal. Ritual dagger. A scroll of damage. Okay. Simon will put all three items in his pouch. But first, he holds the dark crystal close to the flame of the race lantern.
As Simon holds the dark crystal close to the flame of the wraith's lantern, he watches as the light flickers and interacts with the obsidian surface. The crystal seems to absorb the light, and he can feel a chill radiating from it, as if it is resisting the warmth of the lantern. Suddenly, the dark crystal emits a low hum, and shadows begin to swirl around it, momentarily obscuring the light. The whispers in the chamber grow louder, and Simon senses a mix of emotions: anger, sorrow, and a yearning for release. Roll an Arcana check to see if Simon can discern the properties of the dark crystal and any potential effects it may have when exposed to the light. Let me know the result.
+7 Arcana. Here we go. Damn it. I rolled an 8 and am ready to roll again. Yeah, I can.
With a roll of 8, Simon struggles to discern the exact properties of the dark crystal as it interacts with the light of the wraith's lantern. The low hum and swirling shadows make it difficult to focus, and he senses a dangerous energy emanating from the crystal, but he can't fully understand its nature or implications. If Simon wishes to try again, he can take a moment to steady himself and roll again for the Arcana check. Please let me know if he wants to do that.
Simon will roll another Arcana check, and the result is 17. That's better.
With a roll of 17, Simon's focus sharpens, and he begins to discern the properties of the dark crystal more clearly. As he holds it near the flame of the wraith's lantern, he feels a connection between the two sources of energy. 1. Dark energy. The crystal is infused with dark magic, likely sourced from the very curse that plagues the village. It seems to resonate with malevolent spirits, acting as a conduit for their power. 2. Potential for banishment. The whispers around him become more coherent, hinting that the crystal can potentially be used to banish spirits or dark entities if harnessed correctly. It might serve as a powerful tool in conjunction with the scroll of banishment he found. Number 3, caution advised. However, Simon senses that the crystal also has a corrupting influence. Prolonged exposure to its energy could taint his spirit or corrupt his intentions. He must wield it carefully, ensuring it does not overpower him. Understanding the risks and potential benefits, Simon decides to place the dark crystal in his pouch along with the other items he collected. What does Simon do next?
Simon brightens the light level of the raised lantern again to illuminate the statue and see if there's anything more he can tell about.
Simon brightens the light of the wraith's lantern once more, casting a radiant glow across the statues in the chamber. The enhanced light brings out intricate details in the stone carvings, and he can now see their features more clearly. As the light washes over the statues, he notices 1. Subtle movements. Some of the statues seem to shimmer slightly in the light, almost as if they are responding to the lantern. The carvings become more defined, revealing expressions of solemnity and vigilance. 2. Hidden inscriptions. In the brighter light, Simon spots additional inscriptions along the bases of the statues that he couldn't see before. These inscriptions speak of protection and sacrifice, emphasizing the role of the guardians in defending the village against darkness. 3. A larger figure. The larger statue he noticed earlier glows more brightly, and Simon realizes that it bears a resemblance to the figure in the visions he received earlier. This statue might be significant in relation to the curse and the history of the village. 4. A warmth of magic. The protective energy radiating from the statues feels stronger under the light of the lantern, suggesting that Simon's presence and the lantern's power are activating some latent magic. Feeling empowered by the connection he's forming with the statues, Simon understands that they may serve as allies in his journey. What does Simon do next?
I look around the room for another exit.
As Simon surveys the room for another exit, he takes note of the various features around him. The bright light from the wraith's lantern illuminates the chamber fully, revealing the following. 1. The passage he entered. The passage he came from remains accessible behind him. 2. A narrow opening. In one corner of the room, he notices a narrow opening at the base of the wall, partially obscured by roots and vines. It looks like it could lead to another tunnel or chamber, but it's not immediately clear where it might go. 3. The wooden door. The heavy wooden door he observed earlier stands ajar, offering a potential exit as well. It creaks slightly in the stillness, suggesting it might lead to new areas or adventures. 4. No other obvious exits. Beyond these two options, Simon does not see any other exits or openings in the chamber. Simon has a choice to make. He can explore the narrow opening, proceed through the wooden door, or backtrack to the passage he came from. What does Simon decide to do?
Simon will go through the wooden door for his last action of the night.
Simon approaches the heavy wooden door, its weathered surface adorned with faint carvings. He pushes it open cautiously, and the door swings inward with a low creak, revealing a dimly lit corridor beyond. As he steps through the threshold, the air feels cooler, and the sound of flowing water fades, replaced by an eerie silence. The corridor is narrow, lined with rough hewn stone walls that seem to absorb the light from the wraith's lantern. After a few paces, Simon notices one, flickering torches. Torches mounted on the walls flicker with a ghostly light, casting long shadows that dance along the corridor, adding to the ominous atmosphere. Two, footprints in the dust. The dust on the floor shows signs of disturbance, with footprints leading further down the corridor, indicating recent passage, possibly from the dark figure he has seen in his visions. Three, a fork in the path. Ahead, the corridor splits into two directions. One path leads left and appears to descend further into darkness, while the other path veers right, where faint sounds of murmuring can be heard. With his senses heightened and the weight of his discoveries still fresh in his mind, Simon stands at the entrance of the corridor, poised to make his next move. What does Simon do next?
That's going to have to be it for. So that was the end of Thanks for a fun time. I'll be back soon.
I'm glad you had fun. Thank you for playing, and I'm looking forward to continuing the adventure when you return. Have a great night.
All right, everybody, it's getting late and my meds are kicking in, so it's getting to be past my bedtime. Um, I don't know exactly when I'll be playing this next. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But again, like, comment, subscribe, especially subscribe so you can keep up with our random shot of where when we post. So, all right. Hope everyone has a great Halloween. Talk to you later. Bye.